Hi, everybody.
Hey guys,
My name is Jason.
I'm James.
And we're the Pamper Guys. Okay, so we are here to talk to you about multi-host parties.
Boop, boop.
What is a multi-host party, James?
A multi-host party is where you have one party with multiple hosts.
What?
Multi-host party. So why do you want to do a multi-host party? What benefits are there?
I know.
Jason Kramer.
Why? Because it saves you time. One of the things I love about hosting a multi-host party is that you get to do a lot of work one time.
So it saves you time.
Yes.
And I know that's important for those people who are also doing this while raising a family, while having to care for loved ones, while working full time. It gives you some breathing room in your monthly calendar to focus all of your energy on parties during one time period, whether you do it 1 day, 3 days, a week. We run ours for a full week. That works for us. And it allows us to be more focused in that week for our volume and our numbers and finding new customers, engaging. And that way we have freedom the other weeks of the month to, if we have other things in our personal life, to be able to do those, as well as working on things that are not necessarily focused on sales, more team building and leadership training that we need as we grow as leaders within our company. It increases your social media engagement.
You all know that word. The Facebook algorithm. It's a bad word around here, right? Because you feel like nothing you do makes it into people's news feeds. And you want to make sure that those notifications get loaded up. Well, what we love about a multi-host party is you have lots of different people from lots of different groups coming together in one place. And so you post something and lots of people have eyes on it, and then their friends will be more likely to see it.
And with engagement, you want that interaction with a variety of different people within the group. You want those comments, you want those likes. Apollo also wants those likes. He's very adamant about getting Facebook likes, you guys. And he's going to tell us about it. He's going to bark until he gets them all. So like this video.
He's trying to boost his engagement, you guys.
Are you done? Okay, he looks like it. And you want to have that engagement, and having that multi-host party with a larger number of people means there's more opportunity for people to comment from different walks of life. So you're going to work the Facebook system and the algorithms to get those views happening on more people's feed.
Building a community of hosts.
What we have found is with this multi-host party is that the hosts themselves created their own separate community with each other. And that was something that we weren't expecting when we first did this, and has become such a bonus aspect to doing it this way. They have become friends with each other. They motivate each other to post in the group. They motivate each other to get higher sales. There's a little bit of a competition there, but it's not like aggressive towards each other, but they're cheering each other on, saying, oh my gosh, good for you getting a sale. And they feel less afraid to do it because it's just them. A good example is one will post, like we send them samples, one will post their samples, and then the other one goes, oh, I can do that, and I can do that. So maybe one of them is good at one aspect, or if it's a little bit more comfortable with reviewing our product, and that leads the others to feel more comfortable and more willing, and that in turn gets their guests and the people in the party more excited about the products.
Yeah, and they like to sort of compare notes with one another. We have a group chat, and so it kind of gets exciting because they help each other, they talk to each other, they give each other ideas, and they even sort of become like this team on their own.
And he just mentioned the group chat. Yes, we create a messenger group chat just for the hosts of the party, so they all have this community place to go to, and it breaks down that barrier of them being afraid to ask us questions. And going back to saving us time, we only have to say things once to all of them in one place. We don't have to message in different messenger chats. It saves so much time. And what we found, which was a bonus surprise as well, is that in our last party, they started convincing each other that they needed to join our team.
It was amazing.
Like,
We didn't even have to do the asking.
mind blown. They decided they were going to convince each other to join our team. And then it happened. They did our work for us. It was awesome. And it can save you some money. Because we have all of our parties in 1 week in one event, we actually were able to save funds because we like to spoil our party guests. We like to spoil our hosts. And what instead of having, like, say we had 8 parties in the month. So usually we have an incentive prize for one of our games in our party, and it gets some good reaction. Well, in this multi-host party, it gets a lot of traction, and we're still only giving away 1 prize versus if we had all of these parties separately, like all 8 parties, that would be 8 prizes we would have to invest in and give away. So there was a definite bonus there, and it actually, we felt like we were being more generous in the party, but but at the end of the day, when I did the totals, we actually spent less on gifts and awards and party prizes because it just felt bigger because everyone was together, but it was less spread out over the month.
Another thing we like to do is we like to make sure our hosts are really motivated to do what they need to do. And part of our hostess coaching is we have prizes for different levels of engagement, the first order, the first by 5 order, things like that. So when our hosts achieve those things, we have less investment in those prizes as well, because say that happened 8 times in a month, it's going to be really expensive. So we only had a few host prizes to scatter between all of our hosts.
And again, they felt like they were getting more because the prizes had more value individually, but we saved money because we weren't doing 8 individual prizes. We were just doing 1 group or 1 bundle, 1 group prize. Okay, so we've talked about why you should do a multi-host party. Let's talk about how, because that's really what you want to know. How do I do this? Here's the biggest piece of advice I can give you. You make the schedule for when it works for you best. I know the tendency and the drive is to try to make everyone happy and try to find the date that's going to work best for everyone who said yes. Honestly, it's not going to happen. If you have more than 3 people trying to coordinate a week of time or a couple days of time, it's just, there's going to be too many factors with all of them. The best option is the one that works best for you. You're going to have the most freedom to engage with the party, engage with the host, and keep them happy. So choose the week or the time frame that will work for you. You're going to present that to the people who are hosting the party and say, you know what, this is when I'll use March for example. I am hosting a multi-host party the 2nd week of March. Who wants to do it? And that way it's defined. They know what they're getting, signing up for, and we have more control of it based on our personal life schedule.
And it also means that you could possibly have hosts from different time zones, different parts of the country. I don't know about you, but we have customers all over. And when we get them all together, we really can't make it work for every single person's schedule. So we do our best to come up with a happy medium, and everyone finds a way to make it work for themselves.
Exactly. They find a way. We try to meet them where they are. We share with them, like, hey, if we're going to do a live video, we'll tell them when it is, and we'll say, you know what, you don't have to be there when it's live. You can comment afterwards and watch it on your own time. And we are pretty upfront with that, and I think that takes a lot of the concern from our hosts away, knowing that they don't have to be there for every single moment in the party. And because there's other hosts, they know it's going to get covered with engagement, so they feel a little bit freer not to be so committed. Now, I'm not saying they shouldn't interact and they shouldn't be there. You want to do everything you can to get there. But when you're scheduling your events and you're scheduling the events within your party, you need to make sure it works for you because you're the one running the party and it needs to be the most effective for your schedule. That's the point of this, saving you time. We run our events in a Facebook group. It just works the best for what we do. And that's how we do it. The other aspect of what we do is that we create individual shops in our back office. We go into our party dashboard and we create an individual shop for each host. And then during the course of the party in the Facebook group, we do several trainings or several posts about how to shop so that the host's friends and family, when they go to order, they know how to do it on our website.
You know, you might be asking yourself, how do we make sure that each guest orders in the correct party? Well, here's the thing. They only know whose party they're in. they don't have to worry about the fact that there are lots of hosts, because when they go to shop, they're going to recognize their host's name in your party dropdown. So what we do is we do kind of try to reiterate that throughout the party. We have a couple posts that show how to actually check out during a party or through a party. We also make sure that we are engaging the hosts and their guests together in a few posts throughout the party. Okay, so here's my favorite part of doing a party. I like to go live or do a Zoom, because you know, we all know how to use Zoom now.
Grandma knows how to use Zoom. Like, she learned how to use it during Christmas. Everyone knows how to use Zoom now.
Exactly. So that's where I do my product demonstration. I get to show people the website. I get to show them how everything works. So I like to share my screen, and then everyone gets to see how it all works.
Like, you even click product and put it in your cart.
I
and
do.
Say, this is what it looks like in the cart and how it all works.
I show them where to find everything on the website. I show them how the website works. I show them how they can even learn how to join our team on the website.
Sneaky.
Yeah. And then I fill up a cart, and then I use all the available discounts and incentives, and I show them how to check out. And that's the really important part.
And how to pick the party.
Exactly.
Or the shop that they're ordering in to make sure their host gets the credit.
I want to make sure that they get it, that this is a multi-host party, that there are lots of choices, and how to actually check out and make sure that their host gets the credit that they deserve. So we go through the entire scenario. I show them all the things. I talk about why we love doing what we do. I tell them what it means to do what we do. And I try to entice them to host one of their own parties too.
So one of the most important tools that we have found that works in these multi-host parties is the separate, we use Facebook Messenger, you can use text messaging, but as a group chat with all of our hosts. And one thing we do before, one thing we do before the party starts is we have about a 10-minute Zoom call with all of our hosts, and we kind of go through what the week's going to be. Hey, we're going to do this on this day, this on this day. We're going to ask you to share your samples. We're going to maybe, if you want to, go live. And we have that moment where they get to see our face, we get to see their face, and we have this moment of bonding with all the hosts for the month. And we allow them to ask us questions, because a lot of times they don't know what we know as consultants. They don't know the ins and outs of how the party is going to work. So it gives them that opportunity to ask those questions before we even get into the event itself.
And what I really like about doing that is that it really does bring up things we didn't know, someone didn't know. When there's more than one host, Becky may have a different question than Susie, but each of them answers someone else's question who's maybe too afraid to ask.
Exactly. It helps us in many ways, and more than we even knew was going to happen when we started.
Tips and tricks!
Tips and tricks! Tips.
And tricks!
Here's one. When you are creating the posts in your party, create several posts that ask the guest to tag their host. That way you know which guest belongs to which host in the party.
Yeah. Here's another tip. Create a non-social media web page that's like a condensed version of your party.
Oh, like a Spark page.
Like a Spark
I think
page.
Canva, like you can do that. There's a lot of free options out there.
Exactly. It's like a little mini website. And you can have your hosts send those via link to their friends who aren't on social media.
Because there are a lot of people not on social media, and the host can just text message that link to their non-social media party guests, and they'll just go through that web page you created that talks about all of your products and has the link to shop at the end of it. They look at that page on their phone, they go to shop, you get orders, done.
And you know what happened? We actually got orders from that page. We had one of our multi-hosts who was not very tech savvy and who was not interested in being on social media, and so were her friends. So
our biggest party last month,
she got the most orders and the highest volume just because she shared it in the way that wasn't expected.
We met the party guests where they were, and that got us sales. Another tip is to either your first post or like your pre-party post, you're going to have a contact form, and that is going to be the way people in the party request you to send them samples. And make sure it's the first thing that happens, or it happens even a little ahead of time. You could even send that link for the contact form to your host in your host chat and have them text message all the people they invited to the party, because you want to get that part of the process going as soon as possible and make sure it's early so that as the party progresses, people have those things in their hand, because mail, it takes time. Things happen with the mail and there's delays. So you want to make sure you get those samples of your product out as soon as possible. So make sure that you post either before your party officially starts, or the very first thing you post is that contact form to get that information so you can get those out right away.
And here's a tip within a tip, within a trick.
Conception.
You can use that contact info after your party to develop those relationships and do those follow-ups and gain new customers and new potential hosts and maybe new teammates.
Magic.
Okay, this is our final tip and trick. Reward good behavior. Literally, tell your hosts what is in it for them. Besides the host rewards that they get from your website, you want to be able to let them know that if they help you, they get stuff. So we like to have little prizes, things that don't cost a lot of money.
They're already getting rewards from their hostess rewards from the system. So you're just adding on to that for things that benefit you and the party. Who has the most orders?
Who gets tagged the most by their guests?
Who goes live in the party? Who posts a product review in the party?
Who has the most guests who order?
Who gets the first order? Who gets bookings? 3 bookings, you give them a special prize. There's lots of these good behavior rewards that you can create, but make sure that's part of what you're talking to in your host chat so that they understand that when they do those behaviors that as the expert in hosting parties, that they do to get the party moving, that you reward them from that. And it doesn't have to be something big, but small things like shout outs, or even like some kind of reward that you can give them through, maybe you have a personal stash or something through your website that makes them feel a little bit more special. That's even above and beyond the host rewards that they get through the system.
Okay, everybody, now it's your turn. Go get your hosts, go do a group party.
Save the time, be focused with your business, be focused with your schedule, be focused with your party schedule. Work smarter, not harder for your party.
And you know what? Trust us. You can achieve this. You will surprise yourself by how easy you can make this on your business.
All right, go get them. Have a great multi-host party. Wishing you the best.
And have fun.